Hi everyone, I'm Christina from Easy Roofing and welcome back to our Roof 101 series. Since it's February and we're already in week 6, our goal this month is to help you spot roofing issues early before they turn into really expensive problems. And so last week we talked about why annual roof inspections are important. Today we're going to give you some practical homeowner guide information like a DIY roof guide on what to look for. And since everyone has different types of roof covers, and all the roof covers have different Florida Building Code guidelines. We're going to go over shingle roofs, metal roofs, concrete tile roofs, and flat roofs. So let's start with the most common roof type, shingle roofs. Now, some of these items might sound familiar because we did talk about them last week or in our last video, but they're still worth mentioning because they're really important for a DIY check. So here's what to look for. The missing or damaged shingles. So check for curling, cracking, or shingles that are sliding out of place. Especially if there's like missing spots, we know where a shingle should be. Granule loss. If you climb up your ladder, if on the side of your house and you look in your gutter, you might see a ton of granule built up in your gutters. That can be a sign that your shingles are losing their UV protection. Also, looking at the bottom of your downspouts. Um, the third one is looking for exposed nail heads. They're going to look like shiny little, those are a little bit more difficult to spot as a homeowner. But basically, if you're, comfortable getting on your roof, if it's not a very high slope or pitch, then you can go ahead and look for anything that looks shiny around the shingles. That might be a nail head, either being exposed that came through the shingle or maybe it was installed incorrectly. The fourth thing is sagging areas. This is going to look like dips in your roof line, and that might indicate trapped moisture or decking damage. So it's going to be wood damage underneath. Also, flashing damage. You're going to want to make sure to look at or just inspect like the metal areas around your chimneys, your vents, skylights, and you're looking for lifting or rust. What that looks like, especially if you think about like an off-bridge vent, usually they're fastened down with screws, sometimes nails, which I don't prefer. But what we do at Easy Roofing is we add sealant to them so that they're more protected from the elements. And so those can start rusting and that can lead to leaks inside your attic. All right, so now we have metal roofs, and metal roofs are very durable, but they still do require maintenance. So here's what to inspect. First, you want to look for loose or lifted panels, especially after you have a high wind event, because that can loosen seams or fasteners. The second thing is rust or corrosion. So look for oxidation, especially in your screws or overlaps, because when you overlap, especially with exposed fastener roofs, those screws can start to back out and create some weak areas. Also, fastener back out. Overall, in general, maintaining a metal roof, especially like I said, an exposed fastener metal roof, whether that is a tough rib roof, you're wanting to make sure that because the metal does expand and contract along with the decking, you want to make sure that the screws that you tighten those, all right, because over time they can also create leak points. The other thing is sealant failure and flashing, just very similar to the shingle roofs. Improper flashing or poor water flow can cause premature leaks. And so yeah, so I mean the FBC does require metal roofs to meet really strict wind uplift requirements. And so these are just ways that you can help yourself to maintain your roof over time. All right, so next we have tile roofs. These are really popular in Florida for their wind resistance, but tiles are brittle. So you want to inspect them for cracked or broken tiles, slipped or dislodged tiles. Typically strong winds or foot traffic can shift them around. And really, when you think about tiles, the underlayment is what's protecting your roof. That's a waterproof layer. Basically, what they're doing is shedding the water off of your roof. And so it's really important to make sure that your underlayment is not exposed to that UV. Debris in valleys as well is really big. We see this often where the leaves will get trapped between the tiles that come into that intersection in the low portion of your uh, lower portion of the roof, and that blocks drainage. So of course that can build up basically debris, and that debris can start to kind of wear on the tile, the mortar, the sealant, And if it's not in an area where the valley is protecting it, it can get into that underlayment. The last thing is going to be ridge cap or mortar damage. You want to check for cracked mortar or loose ridge tiles. Again, this can be from either whether it's poor installation, because the mortar was mixed with too much water, or maybe it was the wrong, not just the wrong mixture, but maybe the wrong type of material was used. And so you want to check out for those as well, so that you're not missing a corner of your or like or your ridge or your hip. All right, so flat roofs. Flat and low slope roofs require extra drainage monitoring. That's because they're flat. In the state of Florida, flat roofs are considered to be anything that is a 212 slope or less. So that could be as low as like what something that looks actually flat, that's actually has a quarter inch 12 slope, to actually something that has more of a slope. That's like a 212, right? And so if you can imagine, if there's not a slope on your roofs that are flat, then the water can go back into your end wall, and can cause havoc on like the stucco or the siding and also the wood. So really, things to look for: ponding and standing water, like I just mentioned. The minimum slope should be typically a quarter inch, 12. And then also you want to look for membrane cracks. So especially when you're looking modified bitumen, right? So modified bitumen or roll roofing, wherever the seams overlap each other, you want to make sure that those are not opening. Because if they are, then that's compromising the underlayment underneath it. Whether it's a 2-ply or 3-ply, either way, it's not a good situation. The other thing that you want to look for, any like holes or tears in TPO. That's like that white looking full liner material that is on some flat roofs, especially if they're not fully self adherent. If they're just nailed, screwed in at the seams, then those are definitely could be compromised by winds. And if something hits it, trees or anything like that, can definitely pop a hole into it. And then the last thing is, you want to look for your flashing, similar to shingle roofs. So flashing is really important. Penetrations, again, when it comes to like your lead pipe boots, some the squirrels like to eat those as well. And so now we're finally getting into the interior side of the house. So you want to look for water stains or smell of mold or mildew. Around your home, you want to look for peeling paint, bubbling paint. When you're in your attic, also look for any signs of sunlight if you're in there early. Because if the light is getting through your roof, from the top, right around your decking, then water's definitely getting in. So, feel free, again, like, call a professional if you're not sure. If you have any questions. It's really preventing these small situations from becoming major repairs is what we're trying to help you guys um with. And again, this can be a do it yourself inspection, but you can also reach out to us, and we are more than happy to go ahead and do an inspection on your home. We do free inspection, so feel free to reach out, call us, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to our channel and to all our other social media platforms to stay updated with our Roof 101 series. And next episode is going to be on how weather impacts your roof over time. We'll break down how sun, rain, wind, and storms here in Florida affect different roofing systems and what you can do to extend the life of your roof. Stay safe and protect what matters most.